Now, could we please restrict all our questions, which we will address Mr. Gaikwad, within the purview of what the corporation can handle? To ask a question, please feel free to unmute yourselves. But if things get out of hand, I will be muting everyone together.
One question, Mukul, till Prakash comes back.
Yes, Rupenji.
So I'm from New Sagar Darshan Corporate Housing Society Limited at Beach Candy.
Yes.
So Mukul, the BMC keeps framing rules for the do's and don'ts that each society has to follow. Before Prashant Gaikwad comes in, I wanted to ask you that how much of these rules are flexible, bendable, and dependent on the society, and what are statutory that you have to follow.
All right. So rules for one aren't bendable, they aren't stretchable, they aren't breakable. You can't do anything to them. But we must understand that these rules have been made and they exist to protect us, our families, and our community as a whole. I see no reason why we cannot follow these rules. They're quite simple. They aren't draconian in nature. They ask us to stay at home from, say, 10 in the night till 5 in the morning. Very easily done. They ask us not to roam around without masks. Very easily done. Is there something specific which you find to be inappropriate in these rules, Mr. Doshi?
So I don't find, I find the difficulty in implementing them. For instance, the clause about relatives, relatives being allowed to come, who comes under the purview of a relative, how often can he, she come, all of that is very discretionary, I felt. So
True.
Is there some guideline on that,
There is no guideline as such from the corporation, because all such actions are internal administrative matters. And to be honest, we have to get along as neighbors and figure out how we can keep ourselves safe. Now, I have shared a file which is in the chat called Safety Precautions. Nepean Sea Road and Breach Candy, we have worked together over this. And you can go through them. They're quite simple. Most of them, if you notice, are in consonance with what the government is saying, because it's a simple matter of common sense of how to stay safe. Yes, I believe Gautam would like to ask a question. You can unmute yourself, Gautam.
Yeah. Hi, Mukul. I'm from Sagar Darshan Society. We've noticed that from the stretch of St. Stephen's Church up to our building, there are a lot of these vegetable vendors and fruit guys who have cropped up there.
True.
And so it's so glaring. Why is the BMC so blind to it? And they have to take action against all these people, because later on they're going to make a permanent feature there and it's going to be impossible to remove them.
Yes. Now, the matter was already in the High Court.
Yeah.
And the state government has been very clear that they have no intention of permitting this. We can take that up with Mr. Gaikwad now.
Yes.
And hopefully.
Another thing is just another suggestion. We saw after the first torrential rainfalls how our Breach Candy got flooded. Now, Mr. Gaikwad had said that they have finished the cleaning of the drains. It's obviously not the matter, because the drains were clogged, and obviously there was also a high tide compounded to that, and there were actually cars floating, if anyone has noticed that. But they seem to be, not taking any action after that post-flood. I mean, they should have come and cleaned the drains. If they are short on manpower, they should ask the society for help. I'm sure we can provide our sweepers, paying them an incentive and getting them to, clean our area. Or maybe we can, help them by demarcating areas where each society takes a responsibility to clean a particular street, I don't know, they have to, because I see very little manpower on the road. I'm sure they are stuck with the COVID work also, but if they are not having any resources to do that, they need to extend their arms out, and we'll be happy to help them.
So there is no restriction on every society just being proactive, asking their housekeeping staff to sweep the area outside their buildings. There's another issue which we've noticed at Nepean Sea Road. People tend to park their cars over the drains. So the vehicle's tire blocks half of the drain. Then when there is debris collected around the vehicle's tires, it's impossible for the staff to get under there and clear the drains. So a lot of this has to do with just people being irresponsible. Now we have Mr. Gaikwad coming in now.
Could we take these matters up, please? I mean,
Yes, we will. Most
and
certainly.
also another thing is on the coastal road, there is a lack of social distancing among.
So we have Mr. Gaikwad, hence me having put a mute on Gautam. Mr. Gaikwad, please unmute yourself.
Good morning to all of you.
Good morning, sir.
Actually, I start with thank you to all of you for maintaining this month for following all the guidelines which we have discussed last month. And although there has been steady increase in the cases, but there has not been seen any abnormal increase in any of the buildings in D ward, except one or two cases which when we discussed within a week, we found a lot of cases in one building, the Everest building, and another one was I think Dr. Sagar Darshan Everest and this Chandanmala. Except those buildings, there has not been any abnormal increase of cases, and a lot of people have been found following the guidelines. I personally visited some societies as well, and we have found out that even the common toilets are getting sanitized, as discussed in earlier meeting. So I thank all of you for following all the guidelines which we have been issuing, and state government and central governments are issuing. And I hope the next month, August, there will be lot less cases as compared to June and July, and even the growth rate will come down. But we cannot be complacent about it, because even though case growth rate comes down or number of cases come down, if we start behaving, not following the guidelines, we may again get infected immediately, and the cases may increase again. So I'm thankful to all of you for following all the guidelines. Now I will request whatever questions you have, you can ask me, then we can discuss further.
All right, a small request when it comes to these questions, like I have previously asked everyone, could we please stay within the purview of what's possible by the corporation and not digress to other issues? Mr. Munshi, I believe Rupen had a question about the stormwater drains, or Gautam? Yes, Gautam.
Yeah, Mr. Gaikwad, I mean, it's a very commendable job which your men are doing. I think I posted also a picture of your field officer doing such a superb job on site. But also, I'm just requesting you that we have these issues about the coastal road workers not maintaining social distancing. That's one. Second is, I just feel that if you'll have a shortage of workers at your end, because most of them are in the COVID duty, could you get the help of the society or formulate a proper structured plan where society sweepers also can help clean the streets of Breach Candy and Nepean Sea Road areas? And third thing is, I'm also seeing a lot of these vegetable vendors which have cropped up along the entire stretch of Breach Candy. So I hope they don't become a permanent feature. Thank you.
As far as coastal road is concerned, see, during the work, it is when you have to work for the infrastructure projects, it is very difficult to maintain the social distance while they are working. But to be rest assured, all the workers are getting screened every day, and they are getting tested as soon as any one of them are getting the symptoms. And till date, we haven't found any case from any of the workers who are working in the coastal road. So be rest assured that we are taking all safety measures so that there should not be any spread of virus within the laborers and because of them within the society. Second thing, what you said about cleaning of the roads. Right now, although we have a short of manpower, but we have been managing to clean all the roads. If you have any complaints, you can personally WhatsApp me. We will get it attended. And third thing, I think you speak about those vegetable vendors. We have started taking actions on those vegetable vendors now, and we will ensure that they will not become permanent over there. Thank you.
Mr. Gaikwad, this is Biren Sampath from Vaibhav Building, Breach Candy. I have a question regarding, the permanent house help who wants to come back. We want to allow them. We are taking all the precautions. We are getting a doctor's certificate. We are getting the RT-PCR test done, etc. Now, as soon as they are getting it done within 24 hours, we are asking them to come in to the premises. Now, sometimes, that the symptoms show up after 7 days. So, does the test need to be repeated after 7 days? If so, when? If not, is it okay?
If your permanent workers are coming from outstation, they should not be tested on the same day. First thing, if you want to test them at all, keep them in isolation for 7 days at least and test them after 7 days. So even if there is any virus load, that will show the RT-PCR test will show the positivity of the virus. So my advice will be that if at all you want to have your permanent employees come back, and if they are coming from outstation, keep them in isolation for 7 days and then test them. If you don't have any isolation facility, you can send them to VMC isolation facility. We have it.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. So let me just share a thought on this platform. And I would request Mr. Gaikwad to elaborate on this regarding this testing issue. It has been noticed that sometimes certain private laboratories are testing people and it is coming positive. But when the MCGM testing is done, then the tests come negative. So the point comes in here is that samples taken are often contaminated. So there is an issue and it has been seen personally. Mr. Gaikwad, may I request you to share certain protocols and certain advisory regarding this testing, because the state government has opened up testing without prescription and it is quite open. But very often, as you know, the case last week, what had happened, so it will cause a lot of grief to a particular society, apart from the family, of course.
Mr. Gaikwad?
Yeah. The last week only, we got a case in Indrani Malkani Madam's building on Little Gibbs Road. Actually, the person, that lady, has traveled from San Francisco to Delhi. She has been quarantined there for 7 days. On 7 days, she has been tested. She tested negative. She came back to Mumbai and she was in isolation. After 4 days, she decided to be assured about that. She again tested from one of the labs which is famous in your area. I don't want to take the name of the lab. And they gave a positive report. So Mrs. Malkani called me. I told her that we will get her tested again. We tested same day and next day the report was negative. So there are some issues with the labs. Although it is everyone's personal decision to check from which lab they want to check. But I will advise that you should get tested from the lab which has some reputation, and there should not be any issues about the negative or positive reports, because there may be possibility that virus may get spread out in the air, but it cannot happen with lot of people. It can be a one-off a case, but this one-off a case is coming very regularly in D-Ward. So I will advise that there are some protocols. Means if any one of your family has tested positive and you people are not having any symptom, I will advise that you people should not test before 7 days, because there is very likely possibility that you may test negative also, and after 5-6 days you may see some symptoms, and then again you can test positive. So it is better that you wait for 5 to 6 days at least and test after 7 days. if you don't have any virus, you will test negative. And if you have virus, you will get 100% tested positive. And in the meantime, if you get some symptoms, you can get yourself admitted immediately as a suspected COVID also. Thank you.
Well, we've also addressed this very issue in the file which I have circulated. It's on the last page, how and when to get tested. So if you all can look at that and circulate that, it would answer some of these questions as well.
I have a question. Can I go ahead?
Yes, please.
Yeah, this is Pranay Mehta from Il Palazzo building at Hanging Garden. I just wanted to ask that there's been a lot of talk about antibody testing, and I believe the BMC is also promoting that buildings get their resident staff, watchmen, security, and others tested for antibody. If we were to undertake this as a routine practice, what is the time duration in which you should get them tested? After how many weeks each time?
Antibodies will give the count of antibodies, whether you have an antibody in your body, and it shall be tested for the person who has already been tested positive and who has recovered, so that his plasma can be used for other people's treatment. So it is not, I am not saying, and even BMC is not advising anyone to go for antibody. We are requesting the people who have recovered from this disease to go for antibodies, whether they have to check whether they have the antibodies or not. And we are requesting people to come and donate the plasma, so that we can use that plasma for the treatment of the other patients. What we recommend is antigen test. That antigen and antibody, there is a difference between two tests. Antigen test is the confirmatory test for your positivity of virus. But antigen test negative report has to be confirmed by RT-PCR. Positive is confirmed. The positive person, if antigen test comes positive, you are 100% confirmed positive. But antigen negative does not guarantee that you are not positive. For negativity, you have to again go for RT-PCR test. So it is better you go for RT-PCR test instead of going for antigen. If you want to have a mass testing, you can go for antigen test. That is better for mass testing.
Prashantji, I have a question. If somebody is tested negative, within 2 days he tests positive, and vice versa. If I am tested positive today, and if again after 2 days I test, it becomes negative, can you throw more light on this as to why this happens? Or because I'm not able to be convinced that the testing procedure is at fault, or what is at fault?
Somebody testing positive may test negative after 2 days, because the virus spread. You don't know whether when you are tested on that day you are infected or 3 days back you are infected. So there is a quite possibility that you may test negative next day or within 2 days also. But as I said before also, it can be one of a case, but it cannot be repetitive. So if it is getting repetitively from particular lab, so we are getting suspicious about some particular lab. And till date, there has been not a huge number that, as I said, people are testing negative on the next day. The number is very low as compared to the total number of positive cases. That's why, and there are some issues with the labs also. They may mix up so such things have also happened. If 1 in 1,000 case can happen like that also. That by mistake they might have been given the positive report, and next day the same lab has also given that we have again tested and it is negative. Such things may happen, but it is probability is very low about this.
Because if it is like this and I want to bring my servant back to my house and he was tested positive, and within another 2 days he is tested negative, does it mean I can bring him back with that negative certificate, or has he to be under quarantine for 10 days?
Every positive person after testing negative has to be kept in quarantine for 7 days.
Okay.
Is for Mr. Gaikwad. Sir, of course, you have been doing an excellent job in terms of controlling this particular bugger. So my question is, you mentioned that once you test positive, which is given by a lab, maybe after 7 days you should test it again to see whether the report of the lab is at fault or not. But sir, the problem that happens when something like that happens is you seal the flat where a positive patient is found by whatever is declared by the lab. Then how would any of the residents who were tested positive would again be able to go for the test, because society will not allow them since the flat is flat is sealed, while will the other lab would come and test them again? That is my first question, sir. The second, okay, sir, the first question, yeah.
On the first question, I will tell, if you want to test yourself again, you have to just call our ward war room. We will send the person from some lab for testing at your home.
Right.
Just call our ward war room.
Right.
We will allow you to test yourself again. There is no issue regarding that.
Thank you, sir. The second question was, of course, just the request that you said that we can send a WhatsApp on your telephone for the issues pertaining to the ward. Sir, would you be able to share your WhatsApp number on which we can send this particular request?
Yeah, I think all of you must be having my number, 99.
Yes, sir. 99
675
75
33
33
791.
791. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Gaikwad, we have another question. Actually, I have got this question from the Candy Association and from someone at Nepean Sea Road. It turns out that people are actually crossing the borders of the state of Maharashtra by road, and they come back and they refuse to quarantine themselves, saying that they have received permission from the police for interstate travel and therefore the rule doesn't apply. Could you please clarify on this?
Yeah, actually, this is an issue. The people who are coming from outstation by road are not getting detected anywhere, are not getting screened. And if you find anyone from your society or any house help who is coming from outstation, I will advise that you should keep that person at least 7 days in quarantine. And if it doesn't show any symptom, that's okay. If somebody of them shows some symptom, they should be tested and they should be going for treatment at our center or any one of the hospital. Because recently we found one case on Gulabi Desai Road. The family came from Surat, and after second day they started showing some symptom. On third day they tested positive, and whole family tested positive on that day.
Well, I am coming to a more specific issue where we were contacted by one resident of Nepean Sea Road. He's on the managing committee of his society. So one person has an interstate movement pass to go to Gujarat and is doing that regularly. Every 48 hours is traveling to and from Gujarat and refuses to quarantine himself, saying that no, police has permitted me, I will not quarantine. How should matters like this be handled?
Police has given him permission
for interstate travel. So he refuses to quarantine, and now that building, they're quite worried.
Quarantine, he can be home quarantine also.
But he's refusing, saying it does not apply.
Every day he is coming from some other state, he has to be quarantined. I will have to check with police how police has given the permission to him.
So the person who's asked me, who's raised this issue with me is on the chat. I hope he's listening to this and he can take it up directly with your war room as well if necessary.
Yeah, you. I would say you just WhatsApp me the name of the person and then copy of the police permission if you have. Okay. I will talk to the police people.
I will ask that managing committee member from Nepean Sea Road to forward those details to.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
My question is, are you recommending any specific laboratory for testing COVID positive?
We cannot recommend any private lab for this.
But
we cannot.
You tell us some, at least some, you said to...
But I can tell you one thing, that we have started one free testing center at our one of the school, but we test after screening. If we find there are some symptoms which we know, then only we are testing the people, and we are testing for free. We are not charging anybody.
No, but you said that we should have an antigen test done from some reputed places. So I
Yeah,
think you can name a few.
for antigen test, Government of India has approved only biosensor kits, and the lab which have those kits are only the authorized labs who can do the testing. So there are some labs who are having those antigen kits of biosensor, like SRL is having, Suburban is having, and this NM Medical is having. All these three labs.
Okay.
Antigen.
Can I also have your phone number again, please? I just didn't get it.
99675
99675
33
Yes.
33
791
795
791.
791. Thank you.
Question again. Regarding people who travel out of town, you said that they should be quarantined. If you have a resident pilot or somebody like that whose work requires them to travel, we can't quarantine them every time they take a flight, can we?
No. If somebody is going for flight, they have to just quarantine. Doesn't mean that he has to stay in some other place. He can be home quarantine. He has to just ensure that he doesn't come in contact with anyone in the society. He has to be home quarantine. He has to go to the workplace. That is what it is expected from every one of us. Even we are going for work. When I go back to my house, I ensure that I don't come in contact with any one of the society people. So that has to be ensured right now.
That is for how many days, sir, after the travel?
Every time if you are going out, you are coming back, you have to maintain this for 7 days. And if within 7 days, if you are going back again, then whenever you come back, because the virus shows symptoms within 7 days.
7 days.
In some cases, it shows on 2nd day, 3rd day. In some cases, it has shown on the 10th day also. But 7 days is the period when it shows some symptoms. We have
Gautam,
to ensure that we don't come in contact with any symptomatic person, because symptomatic persons spread the virus very fast as compared to asymptomatic.
Okay, Gautam Vatsa from the Altamont Road Residents Association, please. You had a question, Gautam?
Just a question again, since you mentioned that interstate travel, what about inter-district travel? We have a lot of people who are traveling to Alibag or traveling to Mud Island, etc., and coming back.
There are no guidelines for inter-district travelers right now, because if you are going into green zone, those green zone people will ask you to quarantine. But if somebody coming from green zone to red zone, we are not asking for quarantine to anybody, because we are in red zone right now. Mumbai is in red zone. However, some of the districts, the place you saw talked about, Lonavala, is still in a green zone. There are no
green
more,
zone.
Not
Okay, so
major.
we don't necessarily have to quarantine them.
Yeah. But everybody who is going out and coming back has to ensure that he don't come in contact with the people, so that even if there is certain possibility of even 20%, 10% possibility of getting infected, at least he will not spread to anybody else.
Thank you.
Yes, Indrani ji.
Carrying on from this travel issue, I'm sorry, my internet went off, so I was not able to complete the other part. Mr. Gaikwad, perhaps you may also touch upon where international travelers who are coming back by the Vande Bharat flight are disembarking in Delhi and without completing their isolation after the institutional quarantine of 7 days in Delhi, and are taking domestic flights to Mumbai, and the societies are unaware of this part of it. So there, as you know, in the last case, that this was one of the issues that came up. How could a society protect itself? Because this is an actual case that had happened, where the person had disembarked on international flight in Delhi, did the institutional quarantine of 7 days, and the home isolation, which is followed, did not do in Delhi, took a domestic flight and came to Mumbai. And the society was unaware of the disembarkation there. So they thought that it was here in Mumbai. And these sort of travel history not being given to the society, what is the way forward? Because that puts the whole society at risk.
Actually, these are the personal issue. People who are traveling has to be some responsibility toward the society, and they should inform society if they have any travel history from. It is very difficult to for BMC also to check if somebody is traveling from international going to some other state and from there doing coming from a domestic flight. But for domestic flights, we have opened up and we are not insisting any quarantine also for them. Just screening is done. So it is very difficult to identify the people. And in this case, people have to be responsible and they should behave responsibly. That is all.
Hello.
Could I ask a question? This is Anil Makhija from Devi Bhavan.
Yes, Mr. Makhija, please proceed. Mr. Sandesha has connectivity issues.
Yeah. So, no, this is going to be slightly digressing from the COVID topic, but we live at Devi Bhavan, and right now this major piling work is going on by the coastal road. And I'm assuming this piling work will move from one point to another point. But I feel if they could be a little considerate about not starting the work right through the night and early in the morning, it's so high pitched. And, you know, it's deafening the sound. And we live right there on the coast. I mean, I wish we could just tell them to keep some hours during the night or early morning to give it a break and do some other work which is not as noisy as this. And that's what I wanted to suggest. Thank you.
So, Mr. Makhija, if I could answer this question, you could get in touch with the Breach Candy ALM. They have the contact numbers of the person who's in charge of that package and Mr. Sisodia, I believe. And you can get in touch with him and sort of work out some hours which are comfortable for them and for you.
I would like to say something. I have already spoken to L&T people in the morning right now, and I have requested them that they should not work between 10 to 6, and they have agreed for that. Between 10 to 6, there will be no noise at least from tomorrow onwards.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. But how do we get the number of this ALM Sisodia from whom?
No, Mr. Sisodia is in charge of package 1, I believe, which is in your area.
Okay.
You can have someone from your committee. Nandini, is Devi Bhavan part of the ALM?
No, it's not. It's not, but he can still contact us and then we'll get in touch with Mr. Sisodia.
Can I get your number, ma'am?
Yeah, sure. So 98202.
Yes.
88882.
Thank you so much. And your name, ma'am? Nandini.
Nandini Chowdhury, yes.
Thank you, Nandini.
You're welcome.
I appreciate this. Thank you.
Any other questions? Or
Yes, I have a question. And I understand it's up to individual societies. Does the Deputy Commissioner have a view on what should be done about daily help allowed? And what's his view? Does he have any thoughts or suggestions?
when you speak about daily help, what specifically are you?
I mean, people coming into the building, obviously,
okay,
from where they come into the building and do cleaning and then go back.
Okay.
So that increases the contact risk, right?
Correct.
And I understand.
So again, that's an internal matter of the society who they want to allow. Now, what precautions can be taken are there in the file which we've put up. There's an entire section which relates to outsiders entering the building.
Yeah.
What precautions can be taken from the moment they enter till the moment they leave.
Okay. All right. Municipal, here no other guidance he can give. Okay.
He can, of course, Mr. Gaikwad.
Domestic help, as Mr. Mukul Mehra said, it is a personal choice and personal decision and society's decision to take. I would advise that the people who are coming from red zone or from the containment zone shall not be allowed to come for the domestic help right now. Even the people who are coming from other slums, because right now there are a lot less number of cases from slums. The reason might be different, but you have to at least check them, screen them regularly. But as I said, there can be an asymptomatic person who doesn't have any symptom, and that person can spread virus to all of you also in that case. So This is a peculiar question to answer actually. This
Yeah,
has to be
thank
taken.
you. I understand. Thank you.
Julie, could you go next? You have your hand
Yeah,
up.
hi. Just wanted to find out if you get to know the person was asymptomatic, you did not know. But if you come in a contact with the person and then what next to be done? You don't have any symptoms at present, you know, and the small child also of 9 years old come in a contact with the person. That time we did not know about it. So what is to be done?
Busy on another call.
Hmm.
If you are confirmed high risk contact of someone who was positive, the first thing you need to do is go into home isolation, that is not leave the house.
Okay.
Secondly, see if you have any symptoms coming up. Now within your house as well, try keeping as much distance as possible. You're wearing a mask, which is wonderful. That's a great first step.
Yeah.
Then after 7 days, get yourself tested. Don't do it before 7 days of confirmed contact. Like Mr. Gaikwad said recently, if you get tested prior to 7 days of confirmed contact, there may not be enough viral load for the test to detect anything. So what you're doing now, 7 days, stay at home. On the 7th day, please get yourself tested. And you will have a better understanding of whether you are an asymptomatic positive or you are negative, and that includes the children and the family at home as well. You do not need any more prescriptions to get tested.
Okay. Yes. It's I'm worried because I have a small children in the house.
Yes.
So that's the only thing, you know. And when they met them at that time, they were negative, but then later we got to know that, oh my God, that case is positive, and we were in touch. We just got to know.
Okay, so we've put up a file. The file has the war room number of the D ward. Get in touch with them, let them know you've been in contact, you're self-isolating. They will come over. If you need them to come over, they'll keep calling you up if you need that, to make sure everything is going smoothly at home.
Okay, fine. Okay,
They're
sure.
there to help you. They're not there to lock you up. They're there to ensure that you remain safe.
The file is not showing on the chat, huh?
I'll just put it up again.
Thank you.
Yeah, please, if you can put the file across, I will download it.
I will just do that immediately.
Actually, must appreciate Mr. Mukul Mehra, because 50% of our work he is doing. He has so acquainted with all the guidelines right now. So, he can answer all of your questions very smoothly.
Thank you so much.
So is that an excuse for you to leave early?
No, not at all. I just got a call that there is a death case, and from 8 hours body has not been dispatched by the family. That's why I have to send some team to there.
Okay. So I believe Mr. Gaikwad has his responsibilities which are piling up. If there's nothing important, we can have Mr. Gaikwad get back to his work on a weekend, and we can continue this conversation ourselves as well. Great. So Mr.
That sounds fair.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gaikwad.
Thank you, Mr. Gaikwad. It's been
appreciated.
very sweet of you. There's just one final request before we leave. In last month's call, it was on the 19th of last month, you had made a statement that your ground staff, even though you are overworked and overstretched, will try to do something about people who are walking around without masks and endangering the people who are trying to be safe. We've just got something in the chat that it's happening a lot in PDP as well. Okay. So if we could just get in touch with maybe Shivaji, the superintendent of the park, and let him know they need to be a little more strict on the people walking in the park, we'd really appreciate that.
Same thing with Amar Sons.
Yeah, we will do it, because within last 1 month, we have already fined 35 people for 1,000 fine each. So we don't want to fine actually, but they have to follow the discipline. That's why we have to fine some of them. We will ensure that even PDP, we will start action.
And hanging gardens, even hanging gardens.
And Amar Sons.
We will do it.
Also, Mr. Gaikwad, even the vendors sitting on the street are not wearing masks. In fact,
beggars, right now, it is a big issue for us also to shift them, because the beggars' homes are not accepting them without testing. We are working out. We are trying to have one center in our ward only where we can ship them at least for time being. So once it gets finalized, we will ship all of them to one of the center in the ward only. And after testing them, we can send it to the baker.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gaikwad. I believe, Nandini, we can take this ahead amongst our two groups together. Mukundji, Mr. Joshi.
Yes.
Mr. Gaikwad has addressed your issue about.
Yeah. So thank you very much. I reminded a lot of people, but they say it is very difficult to breathe while walking or jogging. I said, but you are infecting to the other people. पर क्या करें वो पढ़े लिखे लोग जल्दी समझते नहीं हैं.
Good job. Yes, thank you, Mr. Gaikwad. Really.
Thank you, Mr. Gaikwad.
Thank you, Lord. Thanks to all of you. And hopefully we will have a lot less cases in August if we continue doing all these things and follow all these guidelines. Yeah, thank you.
So uploading that file, it's still not uploaded, Mukul sir.
Okay, it's there in the chat. I've put it up.
I can't see it there. That's why I'm requesting.
Okay, don't worry. I'll have it sent out otherwise on WhatsApp as well.
Mukul, thank you.
Well,
thank you, Mukulji. I will link the meeting right now.
Mukul, thank you.
Mukul, how will you give it? How will you give the file? Sorry.
It's on the chat. If you click chat, you'll notice.
Yeah, I'm on the chat.
Yeah, so just it says safety precautions, COVID.
We are not able to scroll up right to the top, Mukul. So
It's at the bottom. It's at the bottom.
It's not visible by most people.
No, it's not there, sir. I've checked it thoroughly.
It is
not on the chat.
We're not able to find it. So I think we need to send it by WhatsApp, perhaps.
Maybe there's limited viewing on our phones.
It's gone from the. That could be it. I've put it up once more. Does anyone have the file? Let's try that way. Instead of
Yes.
So Biren has it. You've got it from the chat.
Yes, from the chat. The first time.
Very much there on the chat.
I don't have it either, Mukul. It's not showing on mine.
Anyway, you've given us your number.
Yeah, otherwise you can always get in touch with Nandini. Gautam, I will forward you a copy as well in case you need to circulate it. I'll send it to Indrani ji as well. Nandini has her copy from last
Forward
evening.
it to the ALM.
I've got it.
And then please forward it to as many people.
Yeah, Indrani, you must have got it from Manav.
Yes.
Yeah,
No,
but-
in any case, I got it here also.
You've got it.
And as a matter of fact, Mukul, today I have received from Mantralaya the guideline which has come for all residents association, etc.
Wonderful.
So I will share that also because all the circulars come, all the instructions come, but they do change. So it is, to make it very simple, only those which are really required for housing societies, we could share. Otherwise, it's very confusing for many people.
Yes, very
Yes,
fluid
so-
at this moment, correct.
So this morning I received about the guidelines, which is dated yesterday. So I will share it with you
All right, and
so
I
that
will forward
it
it.
can be disseminated. It doesn't matter how it goes so long as it reaches the people.
Yes,
And since people are there, if you permit, then I will share a few points.
certainly. Please feel free.
Okay. Uh,
Please do so. Thank you.
Because in any case, I work in this sphere in quite a few areas, but you see the issues of housing societies, what is happening. Responsibility ultimately is with each one of us. And this case which I cited was because of the lack of transparency on part of certain members. And housing society management then is unaware, and therefore the members are also at risk. So somewhere along, all of us, irrespective of whether the member belongs to the managing committee or not, can become an advocate of keeping the rules in place. So should we see, because very often people make a mistake of taking a mask only when they feel they are on road. The correct protocol is that you step out of your flat wearing a mask. The moment you step out of the flat, you should be wearing a mask. And if you see others, because when you get into a lift, so people are exposed. you do not know. You see, there are a lot of asymptomatic people. It's not that everyone is a carrier. But then how do you identify? So you first save yourself by wearing a mask. That way you protect yourself. So these are few things which each one of us have to do. I was just thinking that how to make people understand, because this is happening so much. Outside, it's one point. But the other is when inside your premises, people choose not to wear their mask. So that is something which becomes an impossible task at times. The COVID war room, Mukul, if it is okay with you, on our portal, all the COVID war rooms are there, and also on WhatsApp. The reason why I say this is that people, maybe today, all of us who are sitting here and we reside in Deerfield, but very often we do go and we have relatives in other wards as well. So therefore, perhaps we could share some of this with others.
Yeah, that's
so that
we can, correct?
Sorry?
wecan.org.
No. It is togetherwecan.in.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Together, TOGETHERBCAN.in. Because there is a dedicated page on health and COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, video is over, but some other meeting is going on.
Just there you go.
So, like we are putting, and this, as you know, that we work with INCIPM, so I put out these things. These are in simple terms, because most people also don't know which areas actually come in their municipal ward. They don't know if their area is part of which ward. These are the questions I get all the time. So we have put all this in. It will be of help to others. I will, Mukul, I will send to you on WhatsApp. You may just want to, put it out. This is meant for public all over.
Will do so.
So ultimately we are all connected, none of us are alone, and we don't know what is happening where. So it's good to know. The other thing also we need to know are the legal provisions regarding the section 144. That's also there on that page, because the police are very much into it and it's not going to be lifted very soon. So few of these things would be of general help to all. So I'll give you a link. You may please share it. It will, I hope that's all right.
Yeah. Just drop me the link and I will post it on Twitter.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And as forward, I will be sharing more. And unfortunately, the state has not issued it, but it will have to be on the central lines only. So if we are aware of the central ones, then we are on the right track. Actually, the managing committee of societies are in tough places, very, very tough situation. Apart from COVID, the monsoon season is on, and I don't know how many of you had logged in for Mr. Kakani's talk. He addressed many of these issues. Mr. Suresh Kakani is the Additional Municipal Commissioner in charge of health. So the entire thing comes under him. And I will send you the link for that as well. It would be beneficial to all to go and see the video, because the question answers, many of these points were raised, and you would get a lot of clarity in that. The other issue that is coming up, which Mukul, I think as a forum, that societies are using PPEs for their technicians, etc., which I believe your society also does.
Optional.
Now, those PPE, disposal of those PPE has to be in a particular manner. Not all societies are aware of it.
No one is.
Sorry?
No one is. It's just going out to regular.
So then that is a question which I raised to Mr. Kakani since I was aware of it. Because it has to be incinerated. It has to be put, because, and quite honestly, PPE, according to Mr. Kakani and even otherwise, using PPE for technicians is actually a misnomer, because it protects that person. It doesn't quite protect us, and the suit is not reusable. So it has to be disposed of in the right way. Anyway, Municipal Commissioner will be sending out an advisory on that shortly, because this is a major issue that is cropping up, because many societies are buying this because it's available. Unfortunately, the disposal is not clear, so the disposal is going to create a big major hazard. So appeal would be that please use the other precautions and not the PPEs, let it go to the healthcare workers. I'm being quite open about it. Mr. Kakani also said the same thing. So I'll share both these links with you, and you may please share it wherever you wish and take it forward.
Thank you so much. Anyone
You're welcome.
else?
Thank you for inviting me.
No, not at all. Everyone is invited without an invitation.
Oh, that, yes, that I go anyway.
So,
But still.
apparently we've got two people who haven't spoken today, who I'm quite used to speaking to and getting questions from, Neil and Mithil. Anything from Neil or Mithil?
Hi. No, I just joined because I had another Zoom meeting of my club, Malabar Hill Club. Sorry. So, any further protocols that are being initiated in terms of? Hello. Are we doing anything for the dengue and malaria bit, or besides the fogging or fumigation that happens?
No, nothing at the moment. Nothing's been discussed on that.
So we are proposing to look at giving a contract, every 3-day contract to an agency for the purpose of. Hello, 1 second. Hello. Yeah. So we are proposing to give a contract where they'll come every 3 days and do the fumigation for the anti-malaria and anti-dengue, because we are finding a lot of mosquitoes in our buildings and our compound.
Yeah, you can do that. There's another option, is you can just buy the fogger yourself. It's a one-time investment of 15,000, and it will last you for a good 2 years if it is treated well enough. You can fog whenever you want, when you think there's an outbreak or a certain area needs special attention. You don't have to go out every 3 days and do it.
Okay, that's a good idea. I think we'll look at that.
So just wanted to talk about the breeding grounds in Breach Candy. So I had a word with the BMC. So they're now sending a team to figure out all the breeding grounds, like Kailash had that day, shown us near Bellevue, between the school and their building, there was a breeding ground, which is an no man's territory.
Yeah, that's in the Green Lawns Lane, Nandini.
Right. So I did share the pictures with them. So what they're going to do is send a special team next week, foot soldiers, not a tempo, which doesn't enter these areas, to check all these breeding grounds. So they also need to be dealt with apart from our own societies. We can take care of our societies. But the areas around us need to be checked. So that's what they're going to start from next week.
Good, because we are planning to start our club. So we've also just sent a letter to the BMC to start the club from 1st of August. For at least open to sky sports.
All right. Yeah, Biren is quite happy. Apparently, he's going to be there one day earlier, stand in queue. Mithil, Biren is super happy with you.
Here we are trying to control it.
Biren, open the window, throw something across as a thank you to Mithil.
I will.
So now I think we've digressed a lot and we've gotten to lighter issues. Is there anything which we would really like to take up on a serious note? Otherwise, we can bring an end to today's meeting.
Yes, thank you and Mukul. Thanks a lot, for organizing this.
Any issues?
Yep, thank you so much.
Neil?
Thanks so much, Mukul. And Nandini also, you guys are doing a stellar job for us, Too good.
Mukul, really, Mukul just takes all the initiative. Thank you, Mukul.
Thanks, guys.
Right. So I will bring an end to this meeting now. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll have another one in the coming 4 weeks.
Done.
And we won't be discussing COVID because we'll all be behaving sensibly by then.
Yeah, really, absolutely.
Absolutely. Cool.
Great. Thank you.
Thank
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Everyone
Take
can
care.
Thank you, Mukul.
Thank you, Mukul. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all.